What is up, everybody? Welcome to a Rabble of Thrones. My name is Chris Taylor. This week we're going to be talking about the Winds of Winter. With me, as always, in the Rabble's HQ, Tyler Hoskin.
Hello.
And from the Rabble Brothel, Taylor Burt.
I won't be able to participate much because I'm dead.
Yeah, well, I am also dead. So Tyler,
Literally dead.
you have
Dead.
to take over.
We are dead and cannot cross the wall.
Cannot cross the wall. Cannot cross the wall. Oh my god. So much happens in this episode. This is probably a Game of Thrones fans' wet dream episode, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So let's start with, first of all,
I believe Sam had a wet dream as well.
I believe so.
I believe
Man.
Sam orgasmed really hard at that scene.
I did too, because...
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I said that library's giving me wet dreams.
Okay, so let's start, first of all,
With the most important thing,
your
the library.
cable did not work at the beginning.
I was ready to jump.
I would have...
Jump
Yeah,
out a
you were
window.
ready to pull a Tommen.
So I turned on, I always forget what channel it is. So in Toronto, HBO's like 303 or something. And I always forget, so I go to 300 and I scroll up. I don't get channel 300, so I wasn't scared when it was blank.
Right.
And I scrolled up and it was still blank.
Yes.
And then I checked other channels and they were blank, but like basic cable was working. Like I checked Food Network and
Right. So your
That was
cable
all coming
box
in.
just wasn't...
yeah,
Oh.
turned it on and off, paid my bill just in case. That was it.
Yeah. And you
Uh,
called them,
and-
I just fucking paid it! Ah!
And unplugged it and plugged it in and finally rebooted it. But then I was really scared that if I missed a couple minutes, it wouldn't be recording it.
Oh. So you got back in just in time?
I got back in midway through the previously on.
Perfect. Me, I was, as you know, I said I was a couple minutes behind. My daughter was on the other side of the city and needed a ride home at 8:40. So
No.
I drove really fast. I didn't brake.
That's-
I didn't technically brake. No, I did. But if I got pulled over, I wouldn't have gotten the points ticket. I would have just gotten like a ticket.
Your
A
child
slap
taken
on
away.
the wrist.
What's that?
It's like, I have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get home for
Listen,
Game of Thrones.
fucking Game of Thrones is on, and Mr. Police Officer, you're only delaying me seeing it.
Do you have Uber in Hamilton? Because that's when
Yeah.
you teach your daughter how to call a cab.
Well, that would have been the way to go. But I'm a good dad.
You're a
right?
good dad.
I'm gonna do that. So I get home, push play. We see Dorne in the preview, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're a thing.
Oh,
and
I
then-
missed that. I missed that part. So I was really surprised when we saw Dorn. I was like, "Oh, fucking sand snakes!"
And then it's like, and then they show like Tower of Joy stuff, and so Tower of Joy get hype.
Get hype.
Get hype. So that was the only interesting stuff from the preview. Everything else was kind of
Like a recap, right?
like a recap of stuff that we knew they were gonna recap. So we start with like just amazing photography again. This whole opening montage of like Cersei getting ready and Tommen getting ready and the High Sparrow putting his nasty cloaks on. Like, can that guy shower?
I thought so. The cinematography was gorgeous. I thought the music was the most beautiful.
The music was
music in the entire show.
Fantastic. So Cersei's putting on this black dress, and I'm like, this dress is fucking awesome. And she's got like the shoulder pads and the chain connecting them. I'm like, she looks like a fucking badass. And this is what, like Cersei looks like a bad guy.
Yeah.
It was her Darth Vader costume.
Yeah.
This is-
It really was. It really was her Darth Vader costume, and that obviously makes me very excited. Because, she's
Oh my
like
God.
a hot Darth Vader. And
Oh,
who
yeah.
can't get behind that? I mean, Jamie will get behind it.
I don't know.
Oh, maybe not. So it's time for the trial. And,
Loris's trial.
Loris's trials first. So, first of all, Pycelle is with a lady,
Another hooker.
right? And
Prostitute.
as he gets up, he grabbed a piece of paper. What was the paper? Doesn't matter now, but what was the paper?
Maybe directions where it was going.
Maybe he's old, right? So
Yeah.
So I just really want to know like what that paper was. So then he gets outside. The girl's like, "Oh, pay me," and he's like, "I got you next time. Don't worry about it." So okay, cool. So the sparrows go and get Loris, and Pycelle goes outside the door, and the little girl like whispers something to him.
Who I thought was a little person.
Right.
I couldn't tell if it was a child or a little person.
Yes. So
That's my notes for that scene.
So the sparrows
and that one.
What's that?
I was with you on that one. I'm like,
so was I actually. I 100% totally with you on that one.
Thanks, guys.
We got your back. That's how we roll here. So, so the sparrows bring in, and I believe Loris was one of them, right? With or not Loris, Lancel was one of the sparrows to bring Loris in.
Yes.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
So they bring him in and they put him on the ground, and he's now got a haircut, and he's ready to confess his sins. So
straight up confession.
Yeah, straight up. He's like, there won't be a trial. I'm gonna confess everything I did wrong. And so they're like, okay, well, what do you the sparrow's like, well, what are you confessing to?
What did you do? Do you guys? You guys aren't women, but this is how women fight when the guys apologize, and we're like, what are you sorry for?
Right, exactly.
Just because we need you to say it. We need you to know.
It needs to be the right thing.
You need to know what you're apologizing for.
Seriously.
Right. So, he's I laid with dudes, including Renly. Whatever. He lists all his crimes. And so then he's like, yeah, I just, I want to devote my life to the gods. And so the sparrow's like, okay, cool, we can do that. That's fine.
But first,
we
got to carve this thing into your head.
You need a little bullseye on your forehead.
How else will we know you're serious?
That's right. So
What I want to know is why the High Septon doesn't have one.
Because he needs to go places. He needs to be the face. These guys, all these no, because all these guys with the marks, they're all confessed sinners. Like they're all confessed.
Oh.
And he is a confessed sinner, but he wasn't like these ones were all forced to confess, right?
Sure.
He wasn't forced to.
Sure.
I can get behind that.
Is the reason I'm going with that.
All right, I'll take it. All right.
So
I can get behind that.
So then they're like, so Marjorie gets pissed, and she's like, hey, you said he'd be free to go. Like, why are you carving his face up? And he's like, well, that's what we do.
What we gotta do.
And
this made me, and I think I brought it up last week, and this made me think, like, I think the High Sparrow and Marjorie knew what each other was about the whole time.
Right, that he's not that stupid.
Yeah, I don't think he's that stupid, and I don't think she thinks he's that dumb. I think it was just like, I will get you the power you need, and I will get the king on your side.
Right.
Just let me. I think it's just like, you give me and my brother back. We will devote our lives to you, kind of not hindering you. So I think, like, this scene, I think it was a little bit, okay, they knew what each other was about.
Right. Yeah, no, you're definitely right about that. So,
and I have so few booky things to still bring up, but Laura and I just don't. Some things I don't know if they're going to cut or change or whatever. Loris's plot is so completely different, so I just wanted to mention that.
Oh, really?
He goes to fight Stannis, I think.
Yeah.
Way back when, and gets hot oil poured on him.
Okay.
And then is spent recovering, so he's like disfigured / probably dead.
Oh, interesting.
So I just don't know when Buddy finally decides to write book 6.
Yeah, what he's gonna
do. Anyway.
Yeah. So, okay. So then they're like, hey, like Cersei's trial is supposed to be happening right now, and she's not here. Oh, okay. So maybe we should go. Maybe we should go get her.
Should someone go get her? How did Marjorie not notice Tommen wasn't there? Like, Tommen should have been there for Loris's trial to be there with Marjorie, right?
Right. So, and I think she noticed that. So Tommen gets up like he's gonna go. He's like, all right, fine, I'm gonna go. And the door opens and the mountain is standing there, and I'm like, oh.
I thought the mountain was gonna kill him.
So did I. I'm like, oh, yes. And so the mountain kind of stands there, and he's like, no, I need to get to the trial. And he stands there, and that's kind of, and then it cuts. And then it cuts to like, Lancel outside the sept, and there's a little kid like running, and he's compelled to chase this kid, which is weird.
Yeah.
But it works because it needed to happen this way, right?
I thought I missed something. I thought the little kid went up to him, and same with Pycelle, and was like, "Follow me."
Right.
Like I thought that was.
So, but he did have that like look back, like, "Hey, I'm up to no good. You better come follow me," right? Like
it's the only person in the streets.
That's true. And like, why is he in the streets, and why is he running away as soon as he sees me?
Right. So it's.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then Pycelle walks into Qyburn's workshop.
Yeah.
And
meets a bunch of creepy kids.
With little knives.
Tiny little knives.
Okay, now what did Qyburn say to him? Because my TV was quiet. And I missed some of it. Was it anything?
No, it was just, this is nothing personal.
Okay.
And this is nothing against you. You didn't do anything. You deserve better than to die, period, and die cold and alone.
Okay. And then here's the kid's gonna stab you until you fucking...
Yeah, essentially like, sorry, pal, collateral damage.
Right.
Yeah, because we need to start fresh.
So
well, and if I may,
yeah,
another bookie book, this happens at the end of book 5. Like, this is how the book ends. This is the epilogue.
Oh, okay, with Qyburn.
But it isn't Qyburn, it's Varys.
Oh.
Varys is still in King's Landing, and he's the one that stabs Qyburn.
Interesting.
Or not Qyburn,
Pycelle. Interesting.
Huh.
Okay. I got a problem with Varys. We'll get to that. Okay, so murder kids... Yep, what the fuck? Okay, that dude's dead. And then the little kid stabs Loris in the back. And Loris can't... Or, fuck, Lancel, not Loris.
I was calling him Loris in my notes the whole time, too.
Fucking, Jesus Christ. Good thing he fucking bites it here. So we don't have to worry... Both of them, so we don't have to worry about... Anyways.
Why does Pycelle die this way?
What do you mean?
Because Cersei hates him.
Why doesn't he just die with...
Because Cersei hates him.
This is personal
from Cersei.
Okay.
At least that's the way I would see it. I don't think... like, Qyburn doesn't have any... Like, I mean, obviously he has a little bit of...
Was he even going to go to the trial?
Qyburn? Or Pycelle?
Pycelle.
I assumed so. Maybe he wasn't.
Maybe he wasn't, and it just... Yeah, because he wasn't at the Sept. So he wouldn't have been there. He just needed to die.
So
okay. I gotcha.
Die.
Right.
The entire small council needs to disappear.
Right, and now they have.
Yeah.
So, all right, so Lancel's under the thing. He looks up, and he's surrounded by wildfire. And he realizes that, holy shit, I'm right under the fucking sept. And then he sees in the distance these 3 little candles. And so he's, like, crawling to them.
I'm trying to blow them out.
Okay, so, and then... Marjorie realizes, like, hey, wait a minute.
This scene...
Why is Cersei not here?
It gave me chills.
And
like,
he's
her
like...
realizing that?
Right, and he says to the Sparrow says, you know, well, the trial's going to happen either way, and she's going to have to face the consequences whether she's here or not. And Marjorie's like, well, the only reason she's not here... Because she knows that, and the only reason she's not here is because she doesn't expect to ever face those consequences. She's like, we need to get out of here because something's happening.
I love that holy shit realization of Marjorie realizing something.
Yeah. And then so she grabs Loris and she's like, we're getting the fuck out of here. And starts going towards the doors, and all the Sparrow's dudes are like holding everybody in.
This was just it was my favorite scene. I thought the writing with Marjorie was brilliant.
Everything-
She knows those
Everything.
consequences,
Everything was
and
good.
she would be here if she intended to face them.
Exactly. Everything about this scene was good. So, okay. So Lancel's now crawling. He gets real close and he sees the 3 candles and he's trying to blow that first candle, but doesn't make it. And then and the best is the Sparrow realizing it too. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck, like she's right." And then the fucking fire comes up and
I think
He
the
got
part
burned
the
good.
most was Lancel's eyes
yeah,
lit up with the wildfire.
Yeah.
And
this scene was so good. And so everybody's dead. So her uncle Kevin's
Can we
dead.
do everyone's face when that happened? Because mine was.
Yeah, because I mean,
I was like,
You could have fit a Mack truck in my mouth.
Right, we expected this because they've been hinting at it all season, and we're on
Yeah.
record. She's gonna burn down King's Land. She's gonna burn something. Well,
Every
she did it.
character.
She did
Every
it.
character is
But
dead.
but yeah, her uncle Kevin's dead. The dad Tyrell's dead. Marjorie and Loris are dead. The Sparrow's dead.
all the high septons are dead. All
Wow.
the septons, the 7 are dead.
Small castle's all dead.
What was funny to me is when everybody started filing into this place,
Yeah.
Katie looks at me and goes, "Are all those people gonna die?" I went,
Of course not, honey.
Maybe. Who knows?
Not all of them, surely.
they can't all die, can they?
Can they? They're not gonna do that. No.
Maybe a couple of them are gonna die.
Maybe.
I thought it was gonna be a fire and people were gonna be able to get out of it. That's what
right.
a couple people were gonna be able to survive the fire, but nope.
I honestly thought the High Sparrow was gonna say, "Yeah, let them through."
Right, and I thought because I did think Marjorie and Loris were somehow going to get out.
No.
I
No,
forgot
they
what
don't.
show. I forgot what show I was watching.
Yeah.
Um.
Game over, man.
So then you see Cersei with her wine, and the fucking just explosion, and the explosion shot was awesome. Like the bell flying across the street and wiping that dude out, and burning and explode. And so she takes the sip of the wine and she's smirking. I'm just like, man, she's a cunt.
She's gone and done it.
She is full on bonkers off the deep end bad guy now.
Yeah.
Like
Mad
full
King
on.
to the Mad Queen, right?
Right, exactly. So okay, so then she's got the chick, what's her name? She has a name.
Septa. I didn't
Yeah.
know she had a name.
She has a name. Anyways, so she's got her tied up and she's pouring wine on her face.
She's waterboarding her with wine.
Right. Well, and I love it because it's because she did it with water, right? And so now she's pouring wine on her face, telling her to confess, and she's like, "Confess that the reason you did that shit to me is because you liked it, not because you felt for my soul. It's because it felt good to do it." And she's like, and then she's like, "Everything I do because it feels good. I drink because it feels good. I killed my husband because it felt good to be rid of him."
And I think that was the first time we got confirmation of that, right?
No, Lancel had admitted it.
Uh,
So, and then she's like, I fuck my brother because it feels good. And I'm like, do we really have to go there again? Can we
Yes, no.
can we just stop talking about it, please? Because
feels good inside of her.
yes, it does. So,
Remember.
and then I like lying about it because it feels good to not have people snickering about it. And it's everybody fucking knows, bitch. Everybody knows. Even Bronn knows, and I love Bronn's comment later, but we'll get to that. So yeah, so then she's like, I told you that my face would be the last thing you see before you die. And she's like, oh, I'm ready to die. So she's like, you're not dying today. She's like, I want you to meet my friend here, Sir Gregor. And
Gregor.
and he takes the helmet off, and I'm like, oh yeah. And so, she's getting raped by Zombie Mountain, right? That's what's happening.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
Okay. This, at least they didn't show it like they showed when Sansa got raped.
I think that's a little too far, zombie rape.
Yeah.
I think even maybe they have a line.
The zombies?
No, no, the show creators.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
All zombies have a code.
Do they? All right.
Consent.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, um, so now we go to Tommen, and he's kind of like looking out the window at the smoldering sept, and just like, and there's some dude there who I don't even know who this fucking dude was. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, my Grace," and then he's like, "Are you Grace?" And he's like, "All right, I'll leave now." And so he leaves, and Tommen's
Tommen
standing
goes
there,
to leave.
and I'm like, Tommen's gonna jump out this window.
Really? Did you call it?
As soon as like the way he looked, I'm like, he's gonna do it. So he walks over, he takes off the crown, right?
Yeah.
And the way the shot hung, I'm like, oh, I'm totally right. And then here he comes walking back. I expected him to do a running one,
Not
Oh,
just
yes.
step out and
step
go.
out, and just like, "Bleh," and he just like falls forward.
What a way to go.
It's a great way to go.
I kind of chuckled when I was like, what a wiener way to go. But then it's like, I mean, everyone else was killed and he went out.
Yep.
I did not. It was funny, but I didn't expect it.
Right.
No,
I did
didn't
not expect Tommen to kill himself.
Right.
So
To die, but not kill himself.
Mm.
yeah. So okay, so now we go to the Freys and the Lannisters celebrating their great victory at River Run, which they didn't really do anything, but they won.
Well,
So
Jamie told them what for, which was lovely.
we learn that Edmure is back in his cell,
Oh,
which is sad.
so they lied.
Yeah. So okay. So then. Okay. So I love so the line he says, the Freys and Lannisters send their regards. That's the words of their alliance, which I thought that's kind of cute. So then there's this
I don't know
like
if I'd call it cute, but I understand.
there's this like kind of attractive girl, right? Like looking at Jamie, and Bronn's like, man, you don't even have to do anything, and these girls are like looking at you. And so then Jamie's like, oh, these two over there, they're looking at you. And he's like, no, they're not, they're looking at you. And Jamie's like, yeah, they're not really my type. And Bronn goes, what, not blonde enough?
Yeah.
Yes, Bronn, yes. So then Jamie calls them over, and they're like, hey, have you heard of Bronn, the hero of the Battle of Blackwater? And Bronn's like, yeah, I guess I'll go and nail these two.
Well, because that's why I thought Edmure in the last episode and the one before was going to die, because Jamie told him everything, essentially.
Right. Which is weird, yeah. So, okay, so then Walder sits down with Jamie, and, Jamie's just clearly not a fan of Walder Frey.
Nope.
I like that he calls him, he says we're both Kingslayers. And I got the feeling that Walder was going to try something, like with Jamie, like try to like kill him or something, just the way he was talking. But I didn't take a lot of notes about what they said. What were they? Because they said something kind of important, but I was like,
not really. I think it was just establishing what a dick Walder is. It was more just like
Jamie's like, well, if you didn't have us to ride
That's
north
right.
for you,
yeah,
you wouldn't have River Run at all.
yeah. What good are you really?
Yeah.
well, yeah. Walder kept saying us, us, us.
Yeah.
We, and then Jamie was like, no,
It's all me, bud.
it's Lannister.
Yeah.
You shut up.
Just do what we say, and that'll be the end of it.
We don't
Yep.
need you.
So yeah, okay. So then Qyburn's got Tommen's body, and Cersei wants to see it, and so he shows her, and he's like, "Well, what should we do? Should we, the sept's gone, so you can't really. Should we just have a funeral in the
Bury
throne
him,
room?"
but
And she's like, "No, just burn. He needs to be with his grandfather and his brother and his sister, so just burn him and put him with the ashes of the sept." I'm like, "Damn."
that's cold, bitch.
That's cold. So
I thought, I thought it was just. I thought Cersei's reaction was like, meh.
yeah, I mean,
Well, I think she's got into a state of shock where
I
she
think
doesn't fucking give a shit anymore.
right, or she's just resolved to, because the prophecy, and she
She kept saying I can't help it. The prophecy is gonna come true. Like
Right,
I think she
so-
maybe just resolved that. Like, nah, Tommen's gonna die. That sucks.
yeah, it sucks to be him, but I gotta move on. So Sam and Gilly finally get to Old Town.
Oh, thank God. We're having way too much excitement in this episode.
Right, yeah, now time to be bored for 15 minutes. Thankfully, it wasn't that long. It was a kind of a quick shot. So they go to the Citadel, and the dude at the Citadel was pretty funny. And so Sam's like, I have a letter here from Lord Commander Snow of the Night's Watch.
I like how he had made him reach.
Yeah, and so he holds it out, and the guy just kind of puts his hands out like this far. And so Sam's got to reach all the way across. Anyways, it was kind of funny. So he
Only
flips
good part
through
of this scene was the library.
Yeah, so he flips through the book and whatever. The Lord Commander isn't Snow, it's Mormont, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? I guess Sam in Season 7 is going to meet the Arch Maester. That'll be cool.
Yeah, I don't know where Sam's story's going.
Well, I don't think it's really going anywhere.
He's got to serve a purpose.
Yeah, he's got a Valyrian steel sword. That's
sword. He's got to serve a purpose. Somehow.
That's the purpose. Is he's got to get back to. Yeah, exactly. Who gets it? So, all right. So he's like, all right. Well, you're gonna meet with him, but until then, you can come. You've been allowed to go into the library, and so he starts going with them, and Gilly and the baby start going, and the dude's like, "No fucking women and children. What do you think this is?"
Late.
Yeah, and so Sam's like, sorry, see you later. So
there's a library over here,
and he goes into the library and basically like Sam's wet dream, just
this place is giant.
Books and the thing from the opening credits.
Yeah,
was on the scene, and I'm like, oh my god, that's a thing. What is it? I don't know, but it's a thing.
Did you guys? I'm assuming you guys played Skyrim. I'm assuming Chris did.
Yeah.
This felt like when you go and become essentially a maester in Skyrim.
Yep.
And you learn the spells and things. It was. Yep. I felt like that.
Very similar. So where's my notes? Yeah. So the wheel thing from the opening credits. That was what I put. I was like,
blah
really
blah blah.
Surprised. Yeah.
That whole scene, wheel thing from the opening credits.
Opening credits. Okay, so now we go to Winterfell. Could have been worse for Jon Snow. I don't know why I put that note.
Oh, because he was
right.
saying,
He's explaining. Yeah, he's explaining.
I didn't get to sit at the dinner table.
Get to sit at the dinner table. Yeah. So then Davos comes marching in with the little thing, and he throws it at her. He's like, "Tell him what you did to her."
Oh, we playing catch?
Oh. She's like, well, we kind of burned her at the stake, little Princess Shireen. Well, why would you do that? Because the Lord of Light commanded it. Oh, we're not doing that. So, so she's like, well, it wasn't just me that did it. It wasn't my decision. Like Stannis and, what's her name? I can't remember.
No, that was the princess.
That's the princess. Anyways, they were both in on it. Selyse, thank you. They were both in on it. So it wasn't just me. And so Davos is pissed. He's like, you know what? Why would you do it? Like, you didn't even win. Like, for what? You didn't win. It was a waste. And she's like, well, we needed to do it. It was the only way. And so he says to Jon Snow, he's like, I wanted her executed for murder. And Jon looks at her, and I don't know what it is about the look. She looked so like innocent and she's never looked better in the show than she did in this scene. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, oh my god. Anyways,
maybe you just saw it as like it wasn't murder.
Right. And so she's like, listen, you need me, you know what's coming. I need to be here for the fight. You can't get rid of me. And he's like, ride south, don't ever come back because you'll be hung. And she like goes to walk out, and Davos like stands in front of her, and he's like, if you come here again, I will kill you myself.
So clearly she's coming back.
Right. And in what capacity? I imagine...
Put this as a prognostication for our prognostication episodes, because I have an idea as well.
Okay. I think we have the same idea. Okay, so she leaves and rides south, and John's on.
Saddest little ride.
Yeah, and John's on top of the castle watching her leave, and Sansa comes out, and they're like talking about how they need to trust each other, and I should have told you about Baelish, but I didn't.
Sorry, didn't tell you about the veil thing.
Oh, and he says that he's getting the Lord's chamber ready for her. And she's like, "Well, you should be there." And he's like, "Nah, like I'm not a Stark." And she's like, "Well, you are to me." So, cool.
That and a bus token.
Right. So, and then he's like, "Do you trust Lord Baelish?" And she's like, "Well, only fools trust Littlefinger." And then she's like, "Oh, by the way, a white raven came. Winter's here." So, which is like cool. After 6 seasons, it's finally a thing.
Winter's coming. It's here.
So then we go to Dorne, and Lady Olenna's visiting.
Yay.
And she's just smacking down people as she always does. Like, shut up.
Finally, someone got the Sand Snakes to shut up.
Shut up! You're an idiot. Shut up! What about you? Okay, yeah, you're dumb too. Forget about it. Let the adults talk. And she's like, they're like, well, we can help you get revenge or help you survive. And she's like, they took my future, they took everything. I'm not trying to survive. And she's like, okay, well, what do you mean? And then from like the doorway, you see a figure come walking out with a bald head, and I'm like, oh man, Varys, what? And he's like, blood and fire and dragons, and we're gonna kick the fuck out of these Lannisters.
Yeah, because I like that Oleana speech of she took everything from me.
She killed my son. She killed my grandson. She killed my granddaughter. I got nothing. She's got nothing.
Yeah.
So
Tyrell name is dead.
Okay, this next scene made me incredibly sad.
I need to look it up which one it was.
So Dario says to Daenerys, hey, your ships are almost ready. They're painting the sails. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. And he's like, or she's like, okay, you're not coming with me. And he's like, oh, okay, well, you want us to go to Casterly Rock and like take that over? And she's like, no, you and the second sons, you guys are gonna stay in Marine and like keep the peace and make sure they get a new ruler and everything's cool. And he's like, but I wanna go with you. And
dude, you're getting dumped.
Yeah, and she's like, well, the easiest way to make alliances is through marriage. So having you around is kind of like not kosher with that whole thing.
It's not gonna go
It's
over.
not gonna. Yeah, no one's gonna like that. So I'm sorry, bro. It's not you. It's me.
It's not you. It's
you're
Westeros.
a good person. I'm sorry, but yeah. So and then he's like, oh, the dwarf told you to do this and whatever. And then she drops the thing that they're renaming Slaver's Bay to Dragon's Bay, which is cool.
That is cool. I like the renaming.
But I'm very, very sad for Dario. Very sad.
Why?
Because he actually loves her. And he's like, I would do...
So did Jorah.
Yeah, so did Jorah. Yeah, but Jorah's like 65 years old. And she's
but
like 12.
It was never going to work out. She's the queen. He's the guy.
I know. But
I was sad unless he comes back somehow.
Right.
I was sad that, again, it was... What was the point of his plotline? Period.
Well,
he didn't advance the story. I don't think he didn't really add anything to the story.
I think he did. I think he advanced the story.
I thought it was just kind of superfluous.
Maybe.
It could have been anybody.
Could have been, but it was Dario.
I was just expecting, I guess we were expecting, him to be the Sons of Harpy or...
Right. Yeah, but that would have been dumb. That would have been dumb.
Guess.
Although now it would have been okay because if she was just gonna dump him anyways. But anyways, so she leaves or he leaves and then she goes out into like the throne room and Tyrion's there like to console her, and he's not very good at it.
Terrible job.
Yeah. I like the one line though. He says he wasn't the first one to love you, and he won't be the last. And yeah, and Tyrion gives a nice little speech about not believing in things, but how he believes in her. And it's really weird. Like he has such a small sample size to like believe in her.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just seems like so.
Well, she's the first person really to trust him, I guess.
That's true. To like just like besides Varys, right? To like just like be like, yeah, you're cool. I don't, I don't see the dwarf first, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah, trust him for who he is, and like.
Yeah. So he's like,
yeah, he's not a dwarf. He's not disfigured. He's not a Lannister. He's.
Yeah. So he says to her like, oh, if I had a sword, I'd swear it to you. And she's like, well, all I need is your counsel. And he's like, oh, you got that now and forever. And then she's like, I had something made for you. And did she pull it from her cleavage?
She sure did.
Okay.
Sometimes when we don't have pockets.
Yeah, just the
it's
boobs.
What we do.
The boobs are where you hold
I've
things.
put my phone in my bra before.
Yeah.
It happens.
It's weird.
It's nature's pocket.
It's. I thought. Okay, so she pulls out the little hand of the king thing, and she's like, Tyrion Lannister, I name you Hand of the Queen, and boom.
It was so nice. I got all this. So I wrote like this. This is one of the truest relationships I think in the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Not wanting anything, not needing anything.
Just
support.
Right.
And then I think I said before, all of the powerful women, or all of the powerful characters, both good and bad, are women.
Right.
And I love it.
Yeah. Girl power. Burn your bra.
Right?
Yeah.
or just burn a Tyrell.
Or burn a Tyrell. Or a whole bunch of people. A whole bunch of priests and stuff. That's how you do it. Okay. So we go to Walder, and he's like in his banquet hall alone.
This was awesome.
And there's a girl serving him food, and
which is the same girl who made eyes.
Which is the same girl who made eyes at Jaime. And my note, as soon as I saw her, I'm like, is that Arya? And so he's like, oh, go get my sons. I said I wanted them here, and blah blah blah. And she's like, but they are here. And he's like, well, what do you mean? And lifts up the thing, and you see like a thumb, or it might have been a toe. I don't know.
It was some kind of digit.
Whatever it was gross. So she fed him his children.
Yep.
Which is like fantastic, because it's again because that goes back to that story from that Sam, or that was it Sam that told that story?
King.
The Rat King, right? And because he had, and it was this is the whole thing about the. Wow, I just realized this came full circle, because the Red Wedding happened like right after that. And he told the story about this, and now he gets exactly what happened in that story, which is fantastic. So then she takes off the face, and she's like, I'm Arya Stark, and I just wanted you to know that, so that way when you saw my face as you were dying, you would know that
Stark smiling down at you.
You got killed by a Stark, bitch. And so Walder Frey got killed by Arya. How did Arya get to Walder Frey's house? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to ask these questions.
No, yeah, that was this was such a fan service.
Oh my god, all fan
moment,
service,
you know?
So, okay, so then we see Baelish and Sansa. Sansa's by the weirwood tree.
Well, I wanted to point out, amongst all of the other houses and families and people that are wiped out, the Freys are now also wiped out.
Right. The Freys are gone.
We have the Tullys are gone too, because Edmure's back in the cell.
Well, no, now they're not, because now Edmure's going to be released. At least you would assume. Why wouldn't she release him? He's not going to stay in the cell now that all the Freys are dead.
Yeah.
So
the Lannisters left there, so.
And the Lannisters are gone.
Yeah. The Freys are adding to the Tyrells.
Yeah.
The Freys are now also dead.
Right. So okay, so now Sansa's at the weirwood tree, and Baelish comes to see her, and she's like, well, what do you want? And he's like, I thought you know what I wanted. And then so he goes into this thing like where he every decision he makes is based on this picture he has in his head of him on the Iron Throne with her as the queen.
Do you believe him?
I mean, no, because he's been doing shit from way before and she was like a child. And so maybe it would have been Catelyn and he's just substituted Catelyn for Sansa. Maybe, but I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I don't believe him.
You don't trust him.
I don't believe him, and also the accent.
Yeah.
It changes.
And then so he's like, so he says,
what is he? Is he doing British? Is he trying to do British?
I don't know.
Just be Irish, dude. It's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't affect the show. Just do your accent.
Just be Irish. It's fine. So, so he says, you know, word of this battle's gonna get out, and I've declared for House Stark, so people are gonna realize that I'm on your side. And she's like, you've declared for lots of people and fucked them over, so, you know, excuse me if I'm not gonna jump for joy that you're on our side. So yeah, so then that's that.
But no, talking about, I missed it because Dave just walked in. Talking about her being the Stark.
Oh right, that's right. He says that she's the trueborn Stark. Jon is, you know, it's so great how they were tying.
You need to lead.
How they were tying these scenes together.
Yep.
And because he's like, yeah, because like Jon's just. He's not the true-born son. So then we go to Benjen and Bran and Mira.
Skip, PBR.
What?
Skip on the PBR.
Oh, why? So he's like, hey, what are you talking about? Skip. He's like, okay, I can't go any further.
Because I'm dead.
Because I'm dead, and there's magic in the wall that keeps dead on this side and alive on the other. So, okay. So he leaves, and Bran touches the tree, and before he does, Mira's like, hey, you know, like, are you ready for this? And she's like, or he's like, well, I'm the three-eyed raven. I kind of have to be. And so he touches the tree and wargs out. And Tower of Joy, get hype.
And another fan jerk off.
Just everywhere. So we get young Ned climbing the stairs. And he goes up into the room. And there's Lyanna covered in blood. And she's like, I don't want to die. And he's like, oh, you're not going to die. Don't worry. And then she like leans in and she's like, she whispers something that's kind of, you can't really hear. And then she says, you know, he'll kill him. You know, he will. You know, he will. Promise me. And as she's saying that, he gets handed a baby. Only one baby.
One baby.
So
for now.
Maybe
they'll continue with this scene later.
Maybe, but only one baby. So, and they do the close-up on the baby's face. Very close-up, and then boom. Close-up on Jon Snow's face. Ah! So
do you think Jon Snow gets, like, the actor wants more stage direction other than brooding?
Okay, Jon. Yeah, I get it, brooding. I got it.
But yeah, this is confirmed. It's confirmed.
It is confirmed. R plus L equals J. Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Hashtag get hype. Hashtag
confirmed.
We knew it.
Yeah.
So
he's
now
still a bastard.
He is still a bastard, but
he's a different bastard.
He's a Targaryen Stark bastard. Like, what does this mean? You know what I mean? Like, what does this mean? So now this next scene, I was like, what is happening? So we've got all of the North houses at Winterfell, and you know, they're like, oh, the dude from the Vale's like, we can't be fucking aligned with wildlings. These guys are fucking savages. And they're like, oh, we all fought together and blah, blah, blah. And
yeah, that excuse is getting old.
Right. So then they're like, they're all just kind of sitting there, and the little Mormont girl gets up and again just fucking owns the scene.
I love her.
She calls out the fucking the Glover dude. She calls out the what was the other one?
I think the Manderleys?
Manderleys. Yes, she calls them out. She's like, where the fuck were you guys? He called on your houses and you said no. You guys are bastards. We were there. We remember. King in the North is a Stark. And then she's like, he's the King in the North. And I'm like, what's happening here? And then the Manderley guy gets up and he's like, yep, we only know the king named Stark, King in the North. You may be a bastard, but you got Ned Stark's blood in you. You're King in the North. And I'm just like, this should not be the way this is happening. But, okay, so then King in the North, we've been here before.
Yeah, we've done this. Didn't end well.
Did not end well. Although I don't think Jon's stupid enough to marry... just
a girl that he's banging?
That's right. I think Jon would be smart enough to, well, maybe not. He knows nothing, so... Yeah, so this is really weird. This is, to me, this seems like, since Sansa's pure Stark, it should have been pushed, and Jon should have been the one to be like, I'm a bastard. She's the queen in the North. If we're gonna do this, this is the one we're following, and that's what he should have done. Like how Theon did with Yara.
Yeah, well, maybe they just got overwhelmed. The look between
with Baelish
and Littlefinger was like, oh, there's gonna be some backstabbing coming up.
Yeah, so I'm
Add
curious.
That to the prognostication list for next episode.
Curious where this is gonna go.
I don't think they're gonna stay frenzies for.
Right. I don't know why I took this note or made this note. Qyburn's been the hand for a while, right? Or no, he wasn't. Kevin was, right?
Yeah, Kevin.
Okay, so anyways, so now we get to the throne room, and here comes Cersei in her Darth Vader outfit.
Well, first we have Jaime on the top of the hill.
Oh, that's right, Jaime.
Oh,
yeah, he's like, what happened? And so Jaime gets to the throne room, and here comes Darth Vader, and they should have just played the Imperial March. Right. She looks so good in that outfit. Yep. She looks like she's ready to kill everybody. She's got the fucking villain look. Oh my god, I can't wait to see where this goes.
Candles ready to go everywhere.
See, the thing is there's nobody now to control her. So she gets to the thing. Qyburn puts the crown on, says, I name her, Queen of the Andals, first of her name, protector of the realm, all this shit. And she is the queen now.
Yep.
And there's nothing. There's nothing that anybody can do to stop her. Well, except
get stabbed.
Except the boats that are all coming now. Oh. So now we get the money. Why does every season end on fucking Daenerys? Is it just because she's the good guy? Is that why?
This scene was chills. I was really sad they were gonna end on. I was like, don't end on the Greyjoys.
Yeah. Oh, you thought that? Like, no. Soon as they showed the Greyjoys, I'm like, oh, we're ending on Daenerys again. So
I just thought there was gonna be another scene.
Hang on 1 second. It's pouring rain and my window's open. So hang on.
We'll cut this part.
Okay.
Can we talk about?
We might cut. It's up to Chris. He's the one editing.
Does he actually edit?
Usually.
Oh, like actually edit?
Yeah, he'll actually edit this part out. Yeah.
I do all kinds of editing. I edit out long pauses too. I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but
nope.
I go crazy editing.
Can you just edit out that belch that happened in the background?
I probably will, because I'm gonna edit until right now when I start talking about. Okay, so the boats are on their way.
Remember when you closed the window?
See, now I gotta edit again. So the boats are on the way, and how did Varys get on the boat? How did he get back so fast? I mean, you make it seem like Dorne's right there.
There were 3 speed things in this one. It was Lady Olenna getting to Dorne. Was like,
that seems quick. Varys getting to Dorne.
And Varys left at last episode or the episode before, right?
Right.
So it's been an episode or 2 episodes of him getting to Dorne, but then him getting back was another speed thing, and
Ridiculous.
then Arya
getting to yeah, ridiculous. Okay, so that's it. They're on their way to Westeros, and they got a lot of ships and credits, and we're done season 6.
And then 10 months.
10 months till we see another episode. So, quite the body count this episode.
Yep.
This season, quite the body count.
Who's left? Like, who's left?
Well, I mean, lots of people are left, but like Cersei's the bad guy now.
I guess like the main characters are all that's left now. I feel like all of the secondary characters are dead.
Yeah, but they keep introducing new secondary characters.
But the
right?
main characters that we started with in like episode 1 are the only people that are left.
Yeah. So, okay, so we had talked about doing a prognostication episode for season 7. I'm all for it. However, I'm away next weekend, so I will not be able to do it next weekend. It'll have to be the week after.
We can take a break and take
a 1 week break. We'll do like a full season recap. I actually plan on watching the whole season in that week.
Okay.
So we'll rewatch the whole season, and then we'll pick up and maybe any last thoughts, anything like that, and then we'll give our 2 cents of what we think is going to happen next season. Is Arya going to go to Winterfell? Probably, right? I mean, that makes
close
sense.
Enough. I think she goes.
Where does Melisandre end up? What does Jaime say to Cersei after she burned everybody in the Sept? Who's Cersei's next fucking target? Like, she's got to kill other people.
Does she make an heir?
Does she make an heir? And make an heir with who? Because she can't just fuck Jaime and have a new kid and be like, oh, here's the heir. Like, she's got to get married. So who does she marry? Because she needs to marry somebody. Because she needs an alliance. Who's left to make an alliance with? Oh my god, I just figured it out.
Who?
Fucking Greyjoy.
Oh, you're on.
Oh my god. Oh, don't do that. Don't ever do that again.
Oh yeah, sorry. Cut that out. I'll hide it this way.
Yeah. You're on, right? That's the only thing that makes sense.
Because he's going to be on his way to...
Who's the other bad guys, right? Like, there's no other bad guys. The Freys are dead. The Boltons are dead. Whew. You heard it here first.
Character is dead.
You heard it here first. Rabble of Thrones. Hashtag.
Heard it here first.
Yeah, Euron and Cersei sitting in a tree. But Jaime's really going to father the baby.
Yeah.
I made that rhyme. I'm actually quite proud of myself. All right, so what an episode. This caps off...
What a season.
I think the second best season.
Probably. I think this was the best episode 10 ever.
Oh, God, yes. Oh,
ever.
God, yes. So much awesome stuff happened. And
yeah.
I, as like kind of disappointed and let down I felt last week about like just predictability.
Yeah.
The stuff that happened in this episode, none of it was shocking, but it was not how I expected it to go down.
Right.
No.
We expected Tommen to die. I didn't expect it to be suicide. We expected Cersei to use the wildfire. I didn't really expect it in that way.
Everyone to die.
I knew, I had heard the theory that she was gonna just burn down the Sept, but I'm like, it doesn't seem, but she did, and Walder Frey getting killed, that didn't surprise me a lot, but it was cool.
Yeah,
that
the way it happened. Like, that
was a fan service thing all the way. The King in the North thing is super surprising to me. Mm-hmm. That's really surprising to me. So, but I mean, they need him for the wildlings, right? Like, without Jon Snow, the wildlings are not going to stay in line.
No.
So, but anyways, yeah. So join us in 2 weeks. We will do one more episode, and then I have an idea for like kind of like a thing to keep us going throughout the year. It won't be like weekly, but just to remember,
Remember us.
the North remembers, right? We need to remember.
The North
So
remembers. And
I
our
have an
fans
idea.
remember.
Well, I'll announce it on the next episode. I don't want to give everything away, so make sure you listen to that one. And it'll be a full recap. Like, we're going to recap who died. We'll recap all the crazy shit that happened, our favorite moments, everything like that. That'll be next week. So if you enjoyed this episode, and I want to thank the people who've been watching us live. We have a lot of people that have been watching us live, so thank you. You can check us out live. Unfortunately, though, it won't be for another 10 months. But we will be doing the same thing, going live right after the episode. RabbleOfThrones.com/live gets you to our live stream. All of our videos are on YouTube, youtube.com/RabblePress. Look for the Rabble of Thrones playlist. While you're there, subscribe and hit like on those videos if you like them. Even if you don't,
Make
just
lots
hit
of
like.
comments.
Just comment too. Tell us what you think. And this is an audio podcast as well, so we've got iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. Tay's favorite.
Yeah, don't forget Stitcher.
Don't forget Stitcher. So subscribe to us on whichever one of those you use, or all three. That's cool. And don't forget Facebook, like us there, and follow us on Twitter. And if you would like to contact us, just send us an email, podcast@rabbleofthrones.com. Anyways, I think I've said enough. Thank you for watching, you lovely people, and listening, and we will see you next week. Or in 2 weeks.
Bye.